You alright? Can you hear me? Yeah, if you don't speak, I need to I need to get out. Thank you. Right, do me a favour, Karen. Tell them to add me back into the box. Tell them to stop the match and add me back in. I have to wait for them to come out of the match. Thank you. Just say to them, end the match and then re-add me back in. Fucking hell. I need to. Right, 1 minute. That's them. Right, let's have a look to see if they're there. Invite. 1 second. Right, let's have a look. They're still in the match.
No matter what. Anything.
Right. They're there. Right, she's still in a match, isn't she? Hello.
Hello.
Where are you? Where are you? What are you doing? The fuck? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. Okay. What are you doing? Get him out of my life. Right, let me share the live. Oh my god, she's still in a match. Hi, Doctor. Are you okay? Right, let me get out. Why are they still in a fucking match?
Time, bro. I can see that we have to meet one day.
Hi,
Yeah, my
Uncle.
brother.
You okay?
I'm alright, my sister. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What are you doing? I'm waiting for these other people to come out of a match as well. I don't know why they're still in a
Um,
match.
I'm, I'm from Zambia. Where you from?
I'm from the United Kingdom.
That's very nice to meet you. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
I think I'm lucky to meet someone from UK tonight.
Why?
Because I hardly meet people from overseas. Simple.
From the UK?
Yeah.
Do you not have any friends in the UK?
I only have one man I know. He works there as health mental activist, something like that.
You mean he works as a mental health crisis team?
Something like that, yeah.
Why do you look so sad?
No, it's just that today I've had a long day and I'm really tired. But I'm alright.
Doing what?
Um, a lot of things, honestly.
Like what?
Um, all right, so let me show you it. So I had to do some deliveries of these products.
What's that?
The, these are
30 pill?
products. Yeah,
Is that for women?
Yeah, it's for women. These products, I had to do some deliveries.
And what does it consist of? Yeah, what does it do for the woman?
Let me say it prepares you to have to conceive.
So,
In short,
so you're like the godfather for women.
no, actually, it's not my business. It's for my sisters. So I just run through things up and down. You
But
know.
you had a lot of stuff there. You can't have all that for one sister.
No, actually, my sister is a doctor, so she speaks to clients and I deliver.
Oh, okay. So your sister's the doctor, but you deliver the medication to the people that need
For
it.
sure.
Do you get paid
Yeah.
for that?
No, no, no. Do I have to get paid?
Do you get paid?
No.
How many hours a week do you work?
Let me say it's an online business, so it depends with how many people buy the products at that particular time.
Okay. Do you know when you're online, do you ever get any people from the UK in your live?
I do, but I hardly get them. And then I met this guy today. He spent 2 days without eating anything. So I tried to bring him some food and gave him. Guys, tap on the screen. People are watching, but they're not tapping on the screen.
Yeah,
What's
sorry
going on?
about that. Sorry about that. I had an incoming call. So you don't really get many people
And
from the UK on your screen.
not really, but okay. Let me say I hardly get them.
Why do you face down when you talking?
I honestly don't know. Maybe my mind is just somewhere else.
Nice,
Can we do a rematch?
Steve. Yeah, should we bring somebody else in? Should we get somebody else to come in? Do
The Kingdom.
you want to bring somebody else in?
Who's that one?
Should we do? Should we bring somebody else in so we can get somebody else as well to come in the battle? So we just
It
need to
depends.
invite. So 1 minute. Let me see if I can get anybody in with us.
That all right.
I'm waiting to see if this. I'm waiting for this woman to come out of the box called Warrior. I call her
Okay.
Warrior, but
Right.
we'll rematch. A lot's been going on today, to be honest, but I'm not really trying to get involved in any of it. I can't be bothered.
You sound like you are tired, something like that. What's going on?
No, I am just relaxing. A lot's happened recently, and I'm in my
What
own little
happened?
world.
Do you mind telling me?
Oh, you don't want to know? No, you want to just, you don't want to know.
All right.
But put it this way, sometimes you don't have to do anything because people that show you who they are will always reveal themselves in the end, and everybody else around will do it for you. So I just see this now as I just see this as relaxation time. Honestly, I'm not
Oh,
tired.
so
I've just been
what?
really
What?
focused and busy recently.
Okay, so you're telling me that um somebody pretended to be somehow, but they're not the real. That's not their real character, right?
Yeah, you could say something like that as well with somebody, with another person, yeah. Put it this way, right? I've got a lot of people that pretend around me, and a lot of people that are you have to just be careful. So when people are trying to destroy you, you've got to destroy them. Sometimes you just got
Honest,
to step away.
honestly speaking, I am one person who doesn't have friends,
Why?
and let me say I don't just like unnecessary drama.
What do you class as drama?
What causes drama?
No, what do you class as drama?
Can you try to explain a bit about your question?
Like, what do you say? What is drama to you? Like, what do you base drama on? What's your kind of drama?
All right, so it depends in the context you put it in. So in this case, I don't just like something that you've mentioned earlier where someone pretends to be too good, but that's not their real character, and at the end you get disappointed. Do you understand?
Also, have you had a lot of heartbreaks where you've had a lot of people pretentious? You've had a lot of pretentious people in your life, would you say?
Let me say
Is
both.
that the right word? Do you know what that word means?
I've had a lot of heartbreaks. I have had a lot of people pretending to be real, but honestly, they are
Pretentious.
fake in real life. You understand?
You seem like the kind of guy that would get married straight away to somebody. It's like you seem like the kind of guy that would get the ring out.
Let me say, okay, let me put this way. Right now, I'm just living life. Honestly speaking, I no longer have intentions for any woman. I don't have any feeling of me making friendship with anybody.
Yeah, you have to protect your
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah, because it's not good.
Is it
A
because
situation where
so many
if
people's done you so bad?
yeah, of course, because sometimes you need to refresh your mind and get things correctly and focus on your business only. Unlike making unnecessary friends, they end up disappointing you at the end. You find yourself in wrong relationships. You know, it's not just good for my health at the moment. For my spiritual health, emotional health, I think it's not good.
Well, listen, you seem very safe.
Yeah, at the moment I'm safe. I don't really.
Do you have many people coming into your live stream?
Yeah, sometimes.
What do
Max,
you what do you do?
I just interact with people just like this.
Right, I'm gonna add. Do you want to go again? Right, let's try and get one person in. She's called Warrior. She has got a bit of a mouth on her, but I am trying to calm her down. So if she comes in, just look at her as a duckling, okay?
All right.
She probably will come in.
Okay.
Right, 1 second. I guessed. What is she doing?
Yes, brother T-Bag. Thanks very much, Mr. King. You legend.
Right, come on then. She must be. She must be alive. Can you say to her, Chalky? Keisha said, can you come in the live and do the battle with us?
Um, I should end my life and come to your life.
To mine?
I should end my life and come to your life, right?
What, do you want to come into my live?
No, I'm
No,
asking you.
I'm still gonna do battles with you. I want this other girl to come in called Warrior. She's,
Okay.
she's, she's one of my associates and she's on the live stream now. But she might be in a match with somebody. So we'll just keep doing matches until she gets bored and comes in. Because I have nudged her and she's with somebody in the live called Leighton. Evening, Chalky, sweetheart. You don't have to gift love. We're just having a knitter chit chat.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually been kind of calming, to be honest.
No worries.
Just anything, just a couple of taps. No, honestly, Chalky, sweetheart. Honestly, it's just I'm just gonna get some new people in because there's a lot gone on today. There's a lot that's been said, and I don't really want to be involved with any of it. Too deep. You don't want to know, Uncle, honestly.
No problem.
Have you ever been
If you
to? Have you ever seen anything in England?
No, I've never been to England before.
Have you ever travelled out your own country? Thank you.
No, I've never traveled to any country apart from the country where I was born. I was born in Namibia. I grew up in Zambia.
Do you speak Zimbab Zim?
No, 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 no. In Zambia, we have like more than 72 languages, but the major ones, there are 72.
How many languages do you speak?
Um, I speak Lozi, I speak Mbunda, I speak Nyanja.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah, just three. Dudes,
If you could pick
1960.
any country to fly to for 2 weeks, where would you pick?
Definitely would want to come to England.
No, but give me why England.
Um, I just like, let me say the culture is kind of similar to here. I can live that side.
I think you'd actually be a good person in England. I actually do think we need some more of you kind of you lot you coming here. You would, honestly. I'm telling you now, right? And I shouldn't really be saying this to you, right? But I will give you a head start and a heads up. Right now, the best thing you can do is practically get your passport and come to England because when you arrive and you're telling them you can't go back, they'll put you in a hotel, honestly, and they'll give you benefits, a new phone, driving lessons, and a house within 2 years. Honestly, and even you'll even be appointed a social worker. And if
Well,
you think I'm kidding and you are having that dream in your head, then you best believe what I'm saying out my mouth is 100% the truth. So that dream in your head of coming to England can be possible tomorrow. That dream of you coming and staying in England tomorrow could be possible. So you just have to, look at what's going on in England and invite yourself to England because there's a lot of other people that's allowed here. So why not you? You
Oh
have to make
yeah,
hard decisions in life.
I I already have a passport. I have everything. Let
Yeah,
me show
well,
you.
trust and believe. I've said it out of my mouth. Once you arrive here, you'll be fine. Yep, you'll be fine.
So this is my passport. But now, honestly speaking, I still need to fix myself here and there because I can't afford the flight. That's the truth.
You'll have to, you just set up a GoFund
I should.
to say you want the British dream. Sorry. Did you say what I've just said to you? You know, you've been looking online, you've seen how easy it is, for people to get a stay in England, and you want the same dream. Why are you any different? Why is everybody else, you're not no different to anybody else? You deserve to come over. Why not?
Yeah.
You're calm, you're nice, you don't seem
I
like you aggressive,
I
you
will
know? You want to
definitely.
live your life, do what you want to do, but we trust me, they are lenient here
Yeah, that's true.
and they are giving a lots of people opportunities.
So what you do?
I am a dog breeder,
Nice.
so I have a couple of dogs,
Okay.
and some of the dogs get pregnant. They produce pups. When the pups get to about 8, 9 weeks, the pups go. Sometimes I might save one. It just depends on the litter.
That's that's nice.
I've had a couple of ups and downs, but
That's really nice. I'm trying to work around things. I have a long-term project that I need to at least do half of it. If I won't manage, I would really love someone else to do it.
what project
I I want to establish an orphanage
for who?
for children in the streets. Let me show you something. Let me share something. We have a lot of people in the streets, children doing drugs, and I grew up without my father. I lost my father when I was 5. So I don't want to see someone suffering when I'm still alive, when I can still do one or two things for my fellow orphans. So this guy, he literally grew up in the street just like this. And I met him today. I tried to ask him some questions. I found a lot of them, but I couldn't take pictures of them. Yeah, because my phone was very low, so I couldn't take some pictures. I could only manage to take of this guy. So it really hurts me to see people in the streets without their parents. I know the pain of growing up without your parent, without your
What was
guardian.
it like for you not to be? What was it like? Do was you brought up with by your mum as well?
What did you say?
Was you have you ever been brought up by your mother? Was you an orphan?
Yeah,
So
but
what did it
I
what growing up? What did it feel like not having any parents?
let me say I didn't really had that love from my father, and I know nothing about how it feels when you have a father around you. And my father was, let me say, he was doing well, and when he died, the brothers and siblings took everything and left my mom stranded. So she had to start over. And the pain she went through and the pain she's going through just to provide something for me and my brothers, it just, it just makes me feel bad. So I don't want to see someone suffering when I'm still alive. If I can make the little money I can generate, I have to make sure that I share with people who,
So do you make a lot of money on here?
on TikTok.
Yeah.
Not really. This is when I've just started, but I'm just hoping that one day I would become one of the people who are making a lot of money on TikTok. And then from there, I'll pick it up from there because I need to establish an orphanage which will have an irrigation farm, and that farm will probably provide job employments to people around that community where it will be established from, and the food will be provided, will support the people, the children at the orphanage. And my target is to get at least 10 years and below orphans, because I don't want to get someone who went through some drugs and stuff. It's very hard for them to be controlled. So I would really target.
Is a lot of orphanages where you are now?
Not really.
Do
Not
you, do
really.
you, do you have wells of water where you are? Do you have to use wells or do you drink water from the tap?
We drink water from the tap. We can
How did
you
you
can
get your
usually.
teeth so white? Is it a whitening filter or are they actually teeth?
No, 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 no.
Is it the
Maybe it's
filter?
no, maybe it's because of the ring light. It's kind of reflecting on.
No, they're white, love. They're white like snow. Right, I'm gonna let you get off, okay?
Yeah,
If
all
you
right.
want to battle anytime, just request me, okay?
No problem.
I'm gonna see if I can get into some other Are you staying on?
I don't know, cause I need to rest for a while today. I've had a long day.
Yeah, go and rest. And look, I'll follow you back. Go and rest and get at me. Yeah?
I've followed you.
Nice speaking to you.
All right, it was Asia speaking to you too.
God bless. All the best.
All right, God bless you.
Right, so we've met a new friend. I did try get back in with Warrior, but she's in with other people. I'm trying to I'm trying to dis dislocate myself from not Warrior but other individuals because I want to protect my peace. I spoke to Jess as well this afternoon, and I just think from my perspective, the whole situation is just absolutely crazy. And for me, I don't want any involvement. You know, it's that deep. It's that deep. And the things that I've heard tonight, you know, not even just what I've heard tonight, the whole thing is very disturbing. Really is. I think for me, the whole thing is very, very disturbing. Um, think for me the whole thing is very, very disturbing. And I have been speaking to this, and could see, to be honest, and say a lot about both sides. But the moral of the story is you have to really see it for what it really is. And there's two parts of it. And honestly, this is why I'm feeling so relaxed. And I think, like, they should be shaking. Because if I'm not involved and I feel shaken, I can't imagine what other people are feeling. But do you know what's really ironic? And I'm not sticking up for anybody. I'm not taking any sides. I'm not going against anybody. I'm not refriending anybody. I'm not going to sit back with anybody. And I'm not deactivating Her Majesty. But what I will say is this. Most of them that have had the nerve to come for me on live streams about my behaviour, me as a person, what I put out, has made me realise the whole time, and I really should have always remembered this, I was better than each and every single one of them individuals. Because let's see it and let's be right, and this is honestly the only thing I'm going to say. Shell Bell got my daughter off my page, gave it to K Dizzle, and I did. Now, they share kids as well. Then you've got Jess's situation where she can't remember sharing kids. Says she shared kids. Said she hadn't shared kids. Then you've got the Tom situation. Caught out sharing kids. Trying to explain why he's sharing kids. So the reality is none of them have a leg to stand on. And if I was to sit here and say, Jess is being caught out tonight for all of this stuff, I'd be wasting my time. So for me, I'm honestly saying, I am not taking sides, and I'm not going to any sides, but it is what it is. You know, I don't have any mercy. I don't have any mercy for any of it. None of it. Not one little bit. I don't think people deserve whatever's happened to them, but like I said, some people like to extravagant stuff, and I don't want to be in the middle of that, saying anything. Because the reality is, if the police do you know what the funniest thing as well is? If the police do come knocking at my door, I'd rather them knock at my door, because I've put pictures up, or I've done this, or I've done that, or I've been arguing. But imagine getting that knock on your door because you've been sharing kids. So I know in my mindset why I would be getting why I would be getting a knock from the police rather than have a knock on the door and I'm in trouble for, sharing indecent images of children or, images of children. And I think what they've really forgot is what they've all done with these children is a massive safeguarding risk. Honestly. They're actually a danger to children. Every one of them that's actually shared children. And what's going to happen is in 3-4 weeks' time, right, when all the tables have turned, because they will, when the time's right, and I open Her Majesty's account, I am going to say it one by one on the screen face to face. And that's exactly how you move from this situation. Because a lot of people are speaking, but honestly, it amounts to nothing. And it's worth the try, but it amounts to nothing. So sometimes you have to let the dust settle and then create your own little space. So I think it's a bit heartbreaking. It's a bit weird. Some of the things are a bit weird with what I've heard as well. And not just that as well. Some of the loyalty and the boundaries that have been crossed. It's not me having them conversations. It's not me having to go through all of it or figure out what I've fucking done. So the reality is, honest to God, I wouldn't have wanted it to be subjects with what they've been on, to be honest. I would have rather have them fell, or fucking just something else, not children, and you can actually sit there with your popcorn and think karma. But the reality is it involves the kids. So you can't really be sat there thinking, well, they're going to be getting the karma catched up with them because this is kids you're talking about. Kids. So for me, they're all guilty. Each and every one of them that have played a part in that are absolutely guilty. Whether they like to say they're not, they are. And I won't want to be associated or being a part of any of it. It's very coercive. I think a lot of it's to do with drugs, medication, and alcoholism. I think a lot of them as well are in really sticky, shitty situations. I think a lot of them say things like, we protect the women, we protect women's rights, don't be a racist, be a good person in society. And the same people, they'll be the racists themselves, the sky behind the scenes, and they're doing the most. Honestly, some people just like to hide it well, and then when you're showing them the mirror, they're defensive. So what I've learned from being around them is you have to just see it as this. whole situation for me, honestly, I don't know how they can sleep. I don't know how they're actually getting up and functioning. I don't know how they're really trying to think that they're going to really win this situation. Honestly, between them. You know, well, I'm going to say this about you, so I'm going to pull this out about you. And a person like me looking in, it gets to the point where you're thinking to yourself, it's gone past the awareness, love. It's gone way past the awareness. And that's why you shouldn't say this is an awareness. Because an awareness is when you're not being vindictive. You're not being a hypocrite. You're not being obnoxious. You can't play with fire and expect not to get burnt. You can't play fire with fire either. So what happens to me is this. When something is natural for me, and I see it's natural, and something is natural and it's actually real, and there's no fake stuff, there's no back and forth or any extra bits. I can't stand the extra bits. I can mend that situation, or I can see through the loop. I can see through the loop to get to the other end. Now, with this situation, I wouldn't waste my time, honestly, because all of them that I'm speaking about, kids, have doxed kids, except for me. So none of them, in reality, they don't have a leg to stand on. And there's a lot to be said, because you can't just put shit all just on one person when there's a lot of people that's played a part. I think that's very ignorant and rude and shady. Now the difference is if somebody's really affecting your life, affecting your child, has affected your child, or spoke about your child, brought any harm towards your child, any emotional distress, anything, you have a right as a parent to do whatever you've got to do to protect your child. You have a right to say whatever you want to say when it comes to your child. Nobody else has them right. Now, even as a mother, you also have consequences. And even when you're not the child's mother, you're not the parent, you still 100% have consequences. Now, you can't scream about other people and what they're doing, even in Deborah. You can't scream and want to ruin somebody else when you've done the very same thing that you're screaming about somebody else doing. It can't work like that. That's the funny thing, it can't work like that. So every time they speak about kids or people doxing children, it becomes a every cycle. It's fuckeriness. Absolute fuckeriness. Because it's actually taken away from the children and the actual awareness, which they're not giving out because it's tit for tat. When it becomes tit for tat, it's personal. When it's personal, you're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about anything else. And when you've played a part, especially when you've doxed children yourself, you can't be a hypocrite. So what happens is, when you get information about somebody doxing children, or you get that kind of information, but you're also a prolific doxer that likes to dox children and have children AI'd, you also have to think how patronising that is. It's patronising because you've doxed children as well. You've also taken your time to take children off somebody else's page, which wasn't your page, wasn't your child. So it's patronising. It's the hypocrisy. You can't sit and come for one side when you've been doing the same thing yourself. So what you should have done is, when you've got that kind of sensitive information, whether it's the truth, whether it's not the truth, I'm not going to sit here tonight and chime in on what I believe. If I believe it's the truth, or if I don't believe it's the truth, I'm going to keep that to myself. But what I do know is, when you've got prolific kiddie doxers and AI kiddie makers, you also have to take into consideration, when you're trying to out somebody for them receiving, pictures of minors, you have to be able to give that information to somebody else that's not a kiddie doxer and hasn't doxed children, because then it actually is an awareness. It actually then, that's not a kiddie doxer and hasn't doxed children, because then it actually is an awareness. It actually then is an awareness, isn't it? It's not an awareness. It's not an awareness when you've engaged in that kind of activity yourself. That's the difference. So I think for me, how I would see it like this is, I know what's coming, and I'm happy. I am. Now, to these kind of individuals that you're dealing with, very soon, all this will be in the wind for them. Honestly. And you'll see another 7 new characters. But people do not forget. So I'm having a field day right now, and I would have had more of a field day tonight if a bit more things were accurate. And also, yeah, if things were accurate. Accurate. Yeah, if things were accurate. Sorry. But it's not. It's it's the war of evil. It's quite embarrassing, actually, fact that it's stooped this low. It really is. Because it's honestly, it's like fucking watching them grasp for scraps. And because they themselves have done the same things, they're not going to be able to move forward. That's the funniest thing. So, the reason why I'm not chiming in and I'm not putting anything up is because I don't want to be around any of that. I'm not slagging anybody off. I don't want to be in any of their, I don't want to be a part of the peddler ring. I don't want to be a part of people that share children. I don't want to be in the middle of what's going on because, like I said, there's a lot of people watching in, and there's a lot of people that's played a part in all of this, and things are slowly caving in. So it's kind of for them, they don't, some of them, they honestly, so behind, they actually just don't see it. But for me, it's really embarrassing, especially when you're going to them lengths. You're going to them lengths. Now, I go to different kind of lengths, totally different to anybody else. I have my own little mindset of how I am. I always think for myself. I like to say to myself that I'm 100% a well better person than what they put on. And like I said, these lives that they're doing on each other, they're only damaging themselves. They're damaging themselves, honestly. So what I would say is listen and watching and just don't get involved unless it's for the right purposes. Because if it's not for the right purposes, don't get involved. You don't want to be involved. Do you know, I've had about 3 different phone calls today, right, with different people trying to pretend to be my friend, to try and get information, to basically, what am I doing, what's going on, or if they could practically get anything out of me. I get this on a daily basis. It's weird. And then what happens, right, is this. Just wait a second. Okay. What happens is this. They affect my whatever I have inside of me. So what happens is I can be alright, and then my spirit just tells me they're not good, they're not healthy people, and I just cut. And I think for them, right, they are easy. easily led into the groups, easily led into messaging each other, easily led into certain situations. Whatever I do or put out is for a reason. And I think in their heads, they're really in it with each other, honestly. I could say this to you, right? There's some of them that would know, some of them have done murder and be screaming that they haven't done no murder on the live. They'd even go visit them. So trust me, I'd rather sit back and watch the embarrassment, because even speaking to Jessica and having the conversation with her, right? I have been speaking to her behind the scenes. Nothing negative, but when I've been speaking, it's not to be friends with anybody. Do you know why? It's very deep. It is very, very, very deep, honestly. So I can be satisfied, and others, they're not satisfied. They're not. They want blood. Trust me. Now guess what? There's nothing I'm gonna do. Nothing. Not one thing. I'm not saying anything. I'm not advising. I'm not blaming. I'm not even getting involved, because this is embarrassing and it's very dangerous what they're doing to children. And outing each other the way they're outing each other, this is only going to get, yeah, honestly. So to them it's eye for an eye. Who can get one over on who? Who can get one cancelled before the other? But the reality is, as much as people would love to do that, people that are doing this, they've also shared kids. All of them that are involved, they've all played a part at some point and shared a kid. So why would me, why would I now, after everything that I've gone through, why would I guide any of them? Why would I go sit in any of the boxes? Why would I even try to even protect anybody? You know why? Because even if Shelba, she's done the live on Jess tonight and that stuff's come out, whether it's the truth, whether it's not the truth, not my business. None of my business. But Shelba also shares kids, and also kidism, AI's children. So for me, it's on the levels of, there's no awareness for protecting the kids. There's no protecting the kids here. This is a massive, and when I'm telling you, this is a massive safeguarding situation for the social services, not for the police. Not for the police. And I don't think some of them really realise how serious this situation is going to get, and is getting, honestly. But do you know what? Why I can not say anything? Because if the police come and knock at my door tomorrow or within the next hour, 6 weeks, a year, they are never going to be knocking at my door saying, I've shared kids. Now, they might knock at my door and ask me, can I come in for a voluntary interview? Have you said this online? Have you done that? Maybe they might do that. But I'm never going to have the pleasure of the police coming to my house over anything to do with children. Tom, Jenny, Booze Reviews, all of them, they've all shared kids. So, if Shelbal has got this information on Jess, how could she put that awareness out there when she shared kids as well? It's dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous what they're doing. The games that they are playing right now is going to backfire. I would have rather have had someone's jaw split, honestly, than for you to be messing with the kids to try and win wars. It's not just about outing people for sharing kids. With these people, it's gone past that. So they've kind of playing chess with the kids. And I think it's really, really, really making me sick. None of them have actually been ill during any of what's gone on recently. I think I'm the only one that actually got mentally ill. Honestly. And I actually now know that the reality is I could never be like that. Ever. And they actually tried to perceive me as someone like them. And it's not nice. So I have my own way of how I do things. But for now, I'm not intervening or anything. Not a chance. I'm going to let them carry on going for each other, lying on each other, and, creating this function, this fucking I'm a serious person when it comes to my kid, so I don't fuck around. So for me, I feel satisfied. I do. And honestly, if I really wanted to, I could even feel more satisfied than what I already do feel and have felt for the past couple of days. But other people, and honestly, I don't care. Other people, they're not satisfied because they are pussies. The pussies, okay? And what's really funny is this. I can scream and shout about my daughter all day long, but I 100% back mine. And when others are on the internet screaming about their kids and haven't and would never walk out that house, or you haven't got nothing in you, nothing else in you to actually be a grown up. And if that was the case, go face to face. Yeah? We all deal with different things in different ways. And I'm that kind of mother. And, people know stuff. And at one point, they'll snitch. But do you know what? Do you know what I get pleasure out of? Whatever I do is for a reason. And whatever I've ever done is always ever been for my kid. But other people need to realise that you're not me. You are not me. You're not that mum. You're not that mother. Okay? Because if you was ever that mother, from the day that your child's eyes was doxed or other people's children was doxed, you would have dealt with it. Now when people say, well, the police are involved, I can't do this, I can't do that, well, you're busy online doing a lot. You're doing a lot online, and this is the difference. Now, I know where my daughter is. I know that I can go get my daughter at any time. I know I can say whatever I've got to say when it comes to my daughter. And there's people that don't like me that will come up and confirm whatever I say about my daughter because it's facts. If I want her to come home tomorrow, she's coming home. But I don't want that. I don't want that. So you need to see it like this. Whatever I do and whatever I've done would only ever be something to do with my daughter. And if anybody wanted to ever feel that kind of way, to think, well, I can say this, I can do this, we'll do it. Do what you want, but just remember what kind of mother I am and what kind of mother you are. And the other people as well, like Jenny and these other people that have been, doing what they've done. And that's what you need to look at. And that's the hypocrisy. That is the piss-taking bit out of the lot of it. Okay? You're not that woman. You're not that girl. Okay? And I've even said it to a second party. You and me, we can fall out, and I don't care what anybody says out of their mouth. I don't care. Honestly. I couldn't give a fly now. I couldn't care. Because I will die for my child. I won't sit online doing the most, trying to ruin somebody that's already ruined, is already had a hard time. I get it. But how can you sit there and want to pretend you also haven't AI'd my child, or had my child AI'd as well. It's the hypocrisy. It's wild. So for me, I'm the kind of person that you can talk about me. You can say whatever you want to say about me, because guess what? I can get arrested at this second and don't have to feel no way. I've got nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Honestly. So out of all of yous that have come for me and are going for each other the way yous are and using the kids in the middle of it, the fire, it'll backfire. It will backfire. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say. They've also been sat there as well when other discussions have been held. And I'm not going to go over that. But there's a lot of things, you know, sometimes what happens is people forget what they say, or they forget sometimes where they've been sat. They really do. So sometimes it gets to the point where you're thinking to yourself, it's absolutely disgusting, the hypocrisy in the way they are. And as a woman to woman, you have to be able to. It's past the internet. It's past that. Honestly. So what I would say is this, and this is, I'm not taking the piss. I'm not taking the piss when I say this, but I would say this. Take a leap out of my book, because you've read it and seen it very well. And to me, what's happening and what I'm seeing is an absolute embarrassment. And I know we all deal with things differently when it comes to our kids. But you also have to see it as, I know some people don't care of how other people perceive them or what other people's thinking when they're looking in. But you have had plenty of opportunities to face. That shows me as well, you don't want to lose anything. You don't want to lose anything, and that's the difference, isn't it? When you weigh up what I've done or what I do or whatever happens, right? You can see the difference in it, the kind of mother I am. Okay? And then when you weigh up your side and the difference, you have to see it as you spent your time, okay, trying to do the most, wasn't satisfied, not happy, still want to draw blood, still want to do the most with everybody else, but forgetting you've also played a hefty part. And a lot of other people, with what they've done as well, they've played a hefty part as well. So you're a victim, me. But the reality is you haven't gone to face any of it face to face. So imagine crying online for all of that time and not being able to go anywhere and face it. You know why? Because it's about, you know, it shows you do not want to lose anything. So what is it in your life that you're that scared of losing? Because when I sit back tonight and I lay down in my bed, I don't have that feeling of I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose that, because every step that I've made during this whole situation has been the right move, honestly. So when you're all sat there doing the most, and I'm not going to guide not one person, but when you're sat there doing the most, just remember, if any of the social services knock at your doors, okay, and you've still been online doing the most, because it's doing the most. That's what you've been doing. The absolute most. You can't say, well, I did this, because you dox children. You're not going to be ringing the police. You're not going to be ringing the police anytime soon. None of yous are. Not one of yous. What are you going to ring the police and say? Oh, well, Lakeisha's put pictures up of me. Well, why has Lakeisha put pictures up of me? Well, Lakeisha's done it. Well, why did Lakeisha do that? Not one of them. Honestly. And this is the funniest part. So for me, when I've studied and sat back from the very beginning, when the plan started, and then it went on to the Star Wars, and then the mummies, and then the Star Wars. It went into the souls of the machines, and I feel like every scene is being characterised. It's only in the ending they've done it to themselves. I haven't done it, because I've secured everything in my life. Secured my child, secured my yard, secured my main account, secured where I'm going in a couple of months. I've secured whatever I've needed to do while they've been sat there trying to find evidence on things that happened 6 to fucking 4 years ago, when it's going to amount to nothing. And all that time that you've wasted your time with things that amounted to nothing, because she's not going to cancelled. This is the funniest bit. It's amounted to nothing. I win. Okay. I win. Because I'm the realist. That's the difference. Maybe not able to say a lot out loud. Maybe I have to act stupid. Maybe I have to interact a different way. But guess what? Some of them know. And that's why I can say it to them, because they'll understand exactly what I'm saying and they'll feel it. Because guess what? I am real. And I don't take no shit. I don't care. I don't care. I have nothing to lose. Not one thing. But guess what? Some of you lot that have been in this with me have a lot to lose. And it's not with what you've been doing with me. It's what you've been doing and what you've been getting caught out doing. I don't give a fuck about going to the police station and telling them I fucking run my mouth online. Yeah, I've been getting shit for 2 years. I have a good enough excuse to everything that I've done. Why I've said what I've said. Why I've clapped back. You know what the police are going to say? They're going to laugh. Do you know why? Because the same people that have been reporting me. Do you know how many other people they reported before and after me? Do you know how many people these same people have reported before and after me to the police? How many people do you think that consist of? How many people do you think these people that have run the police on me, how many other people do you think they've reported? A lot. A lot. So I think the thing with me is, I am satisfied. And when I'm satisfied and I'm not hungry like that, I don't have to be greedy. But I don't like bullies. Yeah, I don't like the extra add-ons. Because I do think it's to the point where you want that person to unalive themselves. Yeah. It's fucked. You need to get a grip and realise you've done the same thing. Some of you lot that are being hypocrites and having these conversations, doing these lives, saying the most, acting like you would protect your kids. Honestly, you are fucking fakes. Fakes. Absolute fakes. About nothing. About absolutely nothing. Nothing. Not one thing. Weak as fuck. That's what it's giving. Total embarrassment. And when you are fucking around with the kids and you are making a mockery, even if it's not to save yourself, even if it's not for the notoriety, you're playing a dangerous game. So keep going. Because, like I said, just remember this. I don't care what gets said. 100%. I wouldn't have put myself in all these positions and come this far. Honestly. But understand this. I don't care. But remember this. I am that mum. I am that mum. And whatever I say out of my mouth when it comes to my kid, you best believe it. I don't fuck around. I don't mess around. So I can sleep at night and be satisfied. Because it can go any given way I want it to go. Whatever I want, I get. Simple as. But I'm okay. I'm happy. I feel a bit relieved. I feel okay. But other people aren't. But this is the thing. Go and face it. But you can't because you've got a lot to lose. It's a fucked up feeling, that, isn't it? When you can't do anything and you're worried that the police are going to come and get you. And you've got all these responsibilities. You know, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to think about your benefits, you've got to think about all this, you've got to think about social services, you've got to think about a lot of things. But you have to be able to, from when that happened, you should have been able to manage your head. Should have tried to at least put things into place. Unfortunately, sometimes people are too comfy. When you're too comfy, nothing gets done. I'm not like people. I'm not like that. So I think the results here are, we're all different kind of people. And no matter what anybody ever says about me, people will say, well, fucking hell. Anybody, you do the same, wouldn't you? You drive for your kids. You do anything. You wouldn't give a fuck. A mother wouldn't give a fuck. Neither would the father. If it really boiled down to your kids, you wouldn't care. So no one's going to care. No one's going to care about anything. Honestly. All I'm going to be more bothered about is what I have to say when the podcast drops. Because that's going to be damaging. So I would be very careful, very mindful, very, very mindful with what you think and where you think you're going to keep taking this. And I'm not taking sides. I'm not on any side. And if anybody don't believe that and tries to spin this narrative that I'm going to be taking sides or I'm secretly on people's sides, let me tell you this for a fact. You will never see me on their panels. I went onto Jess's panel the other day and that was it. Yeah, I've spoke to her behind the scenes. That's a personal matter. Nothing to do with anybody else. No one's business. They always say you go back to the person or, you have to get that the bit of closure or whatever. That's between me and her. No one else's business. But the thing is, is I've got no loyalties. And when I'm saying I'm not on no one's side, I can easily show that I'm not on no one's side because I'm not going to be in no one's box. I'm not going to be around anybody. But I know me, okay? And I know what kind of person I am. I know what makes me sick. I know what gets my ADHD and makes it kick in. I know when I feel like this. I know when poison is being infiltrated. I know when setups are happening. I know exactly what's going on. Honestly. But I'm not gonna help. But just know this. You're weak. Because any normal person by now would have gone face to face. And you have to see it as if you even thinking anybody about speaking about me, you even thinking about opening your mouths about me, you even thinking about snitching, you even thinking about grassing, let me just say this before I go. I don't care. Okay? I'm a different kind of person. So at least I can stick to my word and stick to who the fuck I am. And I know who I am. None of this fake fucking pretend persona. We care about the kids. We're fighting for the kids. Nah, mate. If you care about the kids, you would have gone up there and done what you would have faced the music face to face like a real woman. You'd have knocked on Jessie's door and faced it. And if you didn't want to do it that way, you could have took 27 different ulterior routes. So I can't buy things like this. I can't. And I'm not on anyone's side. Honestly. But it makes me sick. I can't help it. I can't help it. Because it's not real. It's not real. The kids are not being protected during any of this. This is not fucking awareness. There's no kind of anything coming out of this except for wickedness. And I'm going to leave you to it. No guidance. Nothing. Not an answer bit. Nothing. I don't want them to be, in a bad situation. But I don't have no mercy on any of them when it comes to my kids. I don't feel sorry. I don't feel any kind of way. I don't feel anything inside when it comes to even if they were just sat in the room that played a part. And I think the people think on this app, sometimes they think, it's just an app, it's just an app. No. When you can say what you want to say about me all day long. I'm okay with that. But when you cross, I only have one kid. I'm never going to have another one again. Never. Ever. In my life. Ever. And I've always been a different kind of parent because of how I've been trapped. So my kind of parenting and being a parent is totally different to how they would parent and think about their kids. They don't think like me. And unfortunately, when I'm in this kind of state, there's no stopping me. There's no getting out of that. There's no getting away from that, unfortunately. And I don't care. I don't care. Honestly. I will stand there and I will say I don't care. And feel no way. And I think most of them, because they don't actually genuinely know me, I think they know me because of what I've give out. But that's exactly what they've needed. Now, if they genuinely knew me, they would know from hoping and fucking praying the fucking police would come and fucking arrest me. And I would spend some time in jail. because I would gain so much fucking weight. I wouldn't have to be on extra meals how I am now through the day. So I'd be better off. So when I'm around my people and having a conversations, they're actually deciding what kind of weight and stuff I would be. We're not thinking about anything else. And even our local police, they know that. That's why they don't come and arrest me. They know we don't care. We don't care. You have to imagine as well, right? There's been lots of times that I've been arrested when I was younger, and I used to remind myself. So even if they'd let me out and I'm going for, I have to come back, I just tell them to remind me. So honestly, when I think about how they are to how I am, I know somebody was sat up there earlier on, like somebody was sat there, they were going, I'm a mother, I'm this, I've got my kid, I'm a mother. And I'm thinking to myself, you've put yourself in this situation as a mother, and it's regarding kids. It's regarding kids. Kids. Not something on TikTok. Kids. So you have to explain to the police and the social services why you're involved with the kids stuff. Then, when you've done that, you have to look at the other side and look at their involvement with the kids. And you know what's really, really funny? Can I give you the last laugh? They're all dying to take over. So they're kind of getting everything to drag each other down. And these kids, these innocent babies, are being used in an historical way. If anything, it's basically classed as grooming. It's it's a massive child safety safeguarding situation. What's going on? Kids are at risk. They're all fighting each other, but Geraldine got a young girl, wanted a son to get dirty pictures. You've got True Crime Tom sharing kids in WhatsApps. You've got World of Jenny. sharing kids in WhatsApps. You've got Jess sharing kids in WhatsApps. You've got Shellbell taking kids off profiles. You've got K Dizzle AIing kids that she's been given off profiles. You've got Shellbell's daughter's eyes that were doxed. And they're all trying to scrape to the top. Now, at what point have any of you asked and safeguarded the children? At what point has anybody turned around and said, this is absolutely obnoxious? At what point has anybody actually dealt with the seriousness of the situation? And you know what? There's some of them, they sit there and say, I'm a mum. I would die for my daughter. I would die for my kids. I would do anything for my kids. I'm the realest mother and the only one that will do anything for their kids out of this whole situation. Honestly, the only one. Because some of them, they're just mouth. Mouth. That is it. And that's the funniest bit. Some people, they know because you want them to know. And even though they know, it doesn't matter. Because whatever I do, and whatever I do, wherever I go, whatever I say, whatever happens, I have a reason to why I've done, and whatever happens, wherever I go, whatever, I have a reason, and that's only ever boiled down to my daughter. So if anybody wants to have any kind of chat for anything to do with me, whether it's this next week, whether it's in the next 24 hours, whether it's in a fucking month, I dare you to. I dare you to. Because I haven't got anything to lose. I'm not in your positions. I made my choice when I knew I was coming for yous with what you've said and allowed about my daughter. Now, if I was to have kept Ramia still in my care, there's a lot of things there that would have been wrong. There's a lot of things there that would have been wrong. But there's other people on this internet that like to think and go on like they protect their kids. That they're in their kids are in their care. That don't amount to anything. And that's the thing. If the police knock on my door, they're not going to be saying, Keisha, we're arresting you because you've been sharing children. I'm not going to have social services be ringing me up next week talking about we've been doing a massive investigation and we're going to have to come around and remove your children because you've been in this situation online sharing children, which is a massive safeguarding risk to children. Whether you're going to children's schools, whether you're taking your kids to ballet, whether you're going to the local swimming baths, this is a massive safeguarding risk to children. So it's not, the penny hasn't even dropped yet. So when you sat there thinking, you should have been doing, and if anybody was a real fucking mother, a real mother, and you had the evidence that somebody did that, you'd have seen them face to face, or you would have gone round bends. You'd have got to do whatever you needed to do. Some of yous are absolutely just mad. And it's laughable and embarrassing. So for me, I can't sit and get involved and say, Jess has done that. I'm not taking a side. I'm not going to go sit on a panel ever again. But I'm not going to be a part of doing that to her. I'm not going to be a part of any of that. Do you know why? Because it might be real. It could be what she's done 3 years ago. But guess what? Is it a real awareness? Is it done for the right intentions? No, it's not, is it? So I can't fuck with things like that because, like I always say, I'm down the line. And like when people were taking the piss out of my ADHD the other day, unfortunately, that's what happens in my ADHD. I get like that because I don't like people being shady. I don't like people being half-hearted. When something should be happy and grateful when people step in. And when you show the ungratefulness and you want more and you can't take a step back and actually see and just get that little bit of relief, you are fucking nuts. You're off your fucking head. And I can't cope with that. So you say what you want. I'd look, honestly, listen to you, warrior, either. Say whatever, because guess what? People will look at me like a real woman. They'll look at you like somebody that just sits on the internet, you know. Save the kids. Yeah, you're gonna save the kids. Do what you got to do. So, how I would see it is this: people really need to just shut the fuck up now. Stop with all this kiddie stuff, because the more you're doing it, the more you're bringing attention to it, the more it's coming to your door. The more this situation's coming to your door, and this whole situation's going to backfire. I've got a lot of friends. I act like I don't know a lot. I do a lot of things because I'm a weirdo. Okay, I spend a lot of time on doing things, and people think they know me. And they don't. They only know the version that I give them. So when you're going to be on here and it's something to do with your kids and you're going to be advocating like you're a bad gal, yeah, and you really that mum for your kids, I'm that mum. I'm that mum. Yeah, I'm that mum. You could never take this title because look at the steps. I think you're forgetting. You're not really looking at it, are you? You're not deking it. It really hasn't set in yet, has it? But once it sets in, the emotion sets in. I think it's setting just a tiny bit. But like I said, you see, if you would have done that for me, or anybody else would have done me a favour, I would have been grateful. I would have been grateful. Honestly. But this is the people like to take the piss. They're greedy. They don't know when to stop. And look, now we've got another awareness tonight. I'm not on Jess's side. I'm not on none of their sides. I just think it's wrong what's happening. I think it's wrong that kids are getting used in this kind of way. I think it's wrong that kids are being weaponised. I think it's absolutely wrong that Shellbell is having the audacity to drag Jess. When in reality, I get it, but you've also doxed kids. You've also doxed kids. I'm sorry. You've also doxed children. So you have to sometimes see it as, I have this evidence, but I have to give it to somebody else that hasn't doxed kids. So then it can actually be an awareness. And it looks like we're actually, people are saving the children. But when it's somebody that's already shared kids and already got a form of getting kids AI'd, how can anybody cancel Jess? How can anybody say anything to her tomorrow? They're not going to say nothing. It's going to amount to nothing. And every time people keep stepping over and thinking that they can overstep, you're playing with fire. You will get burned. You will get burned. Honestly, you will get burned. You will get burned. And you don't think for a second, because you haven't got the mentality to get around my mind. Don't think for a second. If you think you can any kind of way, like even with Crazy, told her today, set a little thing up this morning to see what was going to get said, and by this afternoon I found out. So don't think I don't know either, Katie, about your little call this morning, because I know everything, love. Oh, I know everything, and I've got eyes everywhere. And friends that you wouldn't even believe are my fucking friends. So all I'm saying is this. I'm not taking sides, but this is all I'm saying, right? If somebody doxes your kid and you've got the evidence, you let the police deal with it, or you go fuck them up. You let the police deal with it, or you go fuck them up. And if you're letting the police deal with it, then you need to shut the fuck up. You need to shut the fuck up. Yeah? That's 3 rules there. If you are dealing with this with the police, you need to shut the fuck up. And if you're not going to shut the fuck up, and you really give a fuck about your kids, go to the fucking house and fucking deal with it like a real fucking mother. Yeah? And if you can't go, do what you've got to do. Don't be projecting it, twisting it, because guess what? It'd be a different situation if you wouldn't have had my child AI'd. So the hypocrisy, the obnoxious, it's obnoxious. It's wild. You can't have her cancelled. You are completely destroying and thinking that you can outsmart and overstep things, that you need to just shut up. Because it's wild. It's wild. And it's mean. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, people hurt. You hurt, people's hurt. I'm hurt. You've AI'd my daughter. You've had some other weirdo that looks like a creep. And honestly, social services are going to be finding her very soon. Our friend Kerry, the one that likes to AI children because she's a danger to children. All these people that are involved with these situations, especially to do with my kid, they'll reap what they sowed. I am that mother. I am that mother. Me. So when people are saying, oh, well, I'm in the custody and I've got my kid here with me now and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. No, love, you're not doing shit. You're not doing shit. You're not doing anything. Not one motherfucking thing. Yeah? I protect mine. I go all out for mine. And I fucking mean what I say. I don't fuck around when it comes to Ramia. I haven't come this far to put all these things in place for you to think that you're going to get away with. You've been sat on a panel when my daughter's been spoke about. You've had my daughter's name in your mouth. You've eyed my daughter. You've took my daughter off your page. You've been caught. Other people have put it in other groups. You're not getting away with that. You're not getting away with that. I am that mother. You're not getting it. So when you think that you know me, and you've been sat here for this past year thinking you know me, you don't know me. You honestly don't. And when I told you the other day that I was mentally unstable and you all laughed and you thought it was funny, and you was like, I can't believe when people use the ADHD card. Well, my ADHD kicks in when people have done bad things themselves and don't do anything about it. Watch other people do bad things as well. Try to bring that other person down because they want to have one over on that person. And in reality is they're both as bad as each other. It makes me sick. I can't help that. I can't help that something inside of my body can't fathom that because I'm down the line. I don't like, if I'm doing something, I like to do it properly. I don't like to have anything in the back. I like to make sure it's natural. So if I knew I doxed a kid, I would have said to somebody like Worry that Aunt doxed a kid, can you do this awareness, please? We've got this serious stuff. We obviously, so the heat don't come back, and it's a genuine awareness. You're taken away from the kids. You're taken away from the actual awareness because no one's going to take it seriously because you've also been a kiddie doxer. No matter how much you put, you can't think me, my kid, my kid, my kid, eyes, eyes, eyes. It's selfish, but you're playing with fire. Honestly. And it's like bonfire night. It's like, it's the best time of year. It's my favourite time of year, bonfire night. I love it. I love it more than I love Halloween. Well, I've chosen the days. My days out for moving forward, which I do really like, will be trick or treat. That's always a good one because, like, I've learned now. Sometimes you have to set yourself free, and your kids, they're set free at some age. They are. Like our Ramia now she's set free. She's out there. She's going to be doing more things that are more independent. I'm very careful. Like, I can say whatever I want to say. Fucking, you have to prove it. I can say anything. Fucking prove it. That's the difference. I don't really care anyways. I'm past caring. I don't really care. Because I could look at anybody in the mirror, in the face, whatever I need to face. And I'm happy with that. I just can't be around people like that. I can't have that kind of energy. So with them two, with what they've been doing and what they've been caught out with and what Jess has been doing and what Shelley's been doing, what Tom's been doing, what they've all been doing, practically. Like, all of them. They've all been doing it. There's, honestly, they're all internet warriors. That's it. They're for the internet. And that's how you have to see it. Right, I am going to get off now, okay? Because I need to go. But I don't want you to see this as a bad life or anything like that. It's basically just making them know, like, you can't be doing that. Because it's embarrassing. You can't be out here trying to do eye for eye when you've also been fucking doxing kids. Take some fucking responsibility and stop fucking doing the victim mentality. It's disgusting, and especially when it's to do with kids. So for me and mine, I'm a real woman. I know what's best for me in my life. I know what's best for me around me. I know whatever I set my mind to, I get it done. I know when I want something, I get it. And I don't fucking miss. I am kind of that person. So yeah, there's not no tears tonight. There's not no thinking about anything I'm going to order some food. Kick back, put a movie on. And I might even get in a bath, who knows, and use some of the new cleaning products. But I will not be having any kind of energy to be in any of the lives. I might have a couple of days away for the next couple of days just to have a breather. But I will be back at some point through the week. So see it as more of a positive. And I do feel really better in myself, like mentally as well. And I spoke to somebody today, which has even given me more of a different perspective with certain things that I wasn't seeing. So yeah, be positive, think good, and I will see you all soon. I'm not deactivating Her Majesty at all. I'm sorry, but I am not losing that account. And when I go on that account, I will not be doing any drama or any kind of shit like that. It'll just be cooking and me just sat on the camera looking good with my new teeth. Positive vibes, couple of battles, newbies. So I'll see you all soon, guys, okay? Have a good time. Don't invest too much. And look after yourselves. Night. God bless.